Hello.
Hello. You see the news in Amsterdam?
No, what happened?
Oh, the Israelis and Jews are being beaten with knives
Oh no, by Arabs?
and I don't know if it's Arabs or it says locals,
Oh God.
but then the police came to the rescue half an hour later.
Wow.
And they're waiting for the Jews in the alleys. They're throwing firecrackers inside hotels.
Oh yeah, it was their soccer team. Wow.
Shit. Oh, there's a movie.
Yeah, they were
Another
carrying
one.
Palestinian flags, free Palestine.
The rioters record themselves running over Jews with a car. Shit. Oh my God. They're kicking them.
Wow.
Somebody wrote, I'll hand it to Kamala. She promised she would bring back joy to America, and she's done
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's
Wow.
crazy. It's a crazy world. Do you get the news in WhatsApp?
No, why? There's a news.
No, in WhatsApp, I get every 2 seconds news
Oh
from it.
God, how could you take it?
No, I many times I don't look at them, and then after 2 hours, I look at 5 or 6 or 7.
Oh.
Hello.
Well,
Hello, hello. What's
So what happened at
there?
the soccer game there in Amsterdam is terrible.
yeah, we're looking now.
Terrible.
Now, Netanyahu sent a plane to pick him up.
Oh,
2 planes, they just said. Switch
What
off
is
the
it?
recorder, Mario.
Is it the is it the soccer team?
Yeah.
Kuf Lamed Hey, 135.
Hi Abe, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Abe,
hey.
Hello.
Hawud Avakosha.
Hey,
There was a man on his deathbed. And it was known, say the Meforshim in this case, that he had brothers. There was a chazaka that he had brothers. And therefore, if he dies without children, the woman would be Oimed Liyibu. So they asked him, Amrle Itzalaman, who should be miyabim her? Amrle Chazi Lakana Rabba. No. She's a divorced woman. She's not, I divorced her, and anyone could be her husband. And when she said, normally a grusha cannot marry a kohen, it was lav davka kohen. What he meant to say the Meforshim, was that she could marry anybody. So this is going back to what we learned yesterday about, do we believe a man who says, I divorced my wife? Amar Rava, so my nechushle. So Rava said, why shouldn't we believe her? And she should be parted from you, because that was one of the statements made that we learned yesterday. Yeah, but so there was a machlokas amiroim what Rav Yochanan had said. Was it Naaman or not Naaman? But remember, we reconciled this. We said kan lamafreya kan labo. We said, yeah, when we say it's not a divorce, that means going backwards, because, if he was trying to get off his wife from an adultery charge by predating the divorce from when she was accused of being mizaneh, we don't believe that. But if you say I divorced her from now and going forward, since it was biyado legari, sure, we did believe that, so we answered that. So Abaye says, because we made the terutzim we gave are just svaras, and are we going to paskin halacha based on that? And the Gemara answer is, that, you know what, we're not soymech on these terutzim, and therefore we are in doubt. And that's why I said yesterday that the final halacha is like Abaye, that a man who says Gerashti is ishti is not believed. And she would need chalitza. We wouldn't allow yibum because it's a safek, but it would require chalitza. Okay. I would have a mursik law the less le'achim. The chazaka is that this guy has no brothers. The Amar b'shas misa the less le'achim. And he also says at the time of his death, I don't have any sons. He had no sons. And he says, I have no brothers. So the chazaka is that there were no brothers, and the man says, I have no brothers. Can we be matir the wife to marry without yibum or anything? I mean, I understand. Why shouldn't we allow her to marry somebody? Number one, the presumption, that means what we know is that there were no brothers. The Od, the Leslie. And also he said at the time of death that he has no brothers. So what are we worried about here? Again, Amarle Abaye, you see, Abaye is in this realm of halacha is very machmir. He says, the word is out that people are saying that there are edim somewhere else who can testify that he has a brother. So when there's no rumor like that, of course she can get married to anybody she wants. But Abaye is saying our cases where there's a rumor. But Rav Yosef responded, yeah, but Hashtami Halesna, come on. But they're not here. So why should it be Choishesh? Maybe they're edim somewhere. And he added, Lav Hainu the Rav Chanina. Isn't this like the case of Rav Chanina? The case of Rav Chanina was there were these daughters of Mar Shmuel that were taken prisoner. And then they were brought back to Eretz Yisrael. And they said, we were taken prisoner, but nobody raped us. And Rav Chanina allowed them to marry Kohanim. Remember, if they were raped, they're halachic zonos. They can marry other Jews, but they can't marry Kohanim. And there also we said, there are edim somewhere else that they were raped. And Rav Chanina said, yeah, but the edim are not here. They're far away, and we should aser. So Rav Yosef is bringing this sheet of Rav Chanina on top of what was said, that since the edim are not here, why should we restrict this woman from getting married? Right? Because Amar Rav Chanina, edim b'tzadistin, the edim are in the north, and we have to worry about them, but they are there. So again, Abaye responds, Amar Abaye, im hekalnu b'shvuya, ishum demenavle nafshe l'gabe shavai. We know that the Chachamim made a lot of leniencies for women who were taken prisoner. We learned in Ksubis that if there was an aide who was a woman, and even if there was only one woman who gave testimony that that was not raped, we believed her. Most women, the Rashbam say, prevent themselves from being raped. So we keep her, when she went, she was torn, so we keep her in the same chazaka. And then Rashba says, Isser kalhu im nisus l'koyin. He says, even if she was a zona, it's not such a big isser. I mean, it's a Tordik isser. So I've never seen that before in a Rashba or a Rashi to say that it's considered an isser kal. And the Gemara said she's menavel. When a woman is taken prisoner, she makes herself look ugly so that they won't rape her. So there's a svara to say that she remained tahor. Yet we should be nakel be'ishes ish. And should that, because we were makel by a shvuya, we're going to be makel by an ishes ish? No, absolutely not. Amalei Rav Nosson Barami Choshla. We should not be matir this woman to marry unless we know for sure we get these edim from wherever they are to come and testify. And if there's an ach, that she would need yibum or chlitza. We learned in our Mishnah, if he says Ze achi, Eino Neman, he's not believed that the other brothers have to share their Yerusha with this brother. He can share, if he's claiming it's a brother, he gives him his share. But that's it. What are the other brothers saying in response to this? If they're also agreeing, yeah, he's our brother, so why does this new brother only get to share with the original brother who's making the claim that he should share with he should be one of the brothers and get a share of the Yerusha? Right, the Sulon, why shouldn't they share the Yerusha with him too? They're admitting to it. Must be Ella, because the other brothers say, this is not our brother. So that's why the guy who claims it's a brother, he should share with him, but not the others. Okay, aim is safe. What did the safe of the Mishnah say? We said that, let's say this guy who one of the brothers says it's his brother, had some assets fall to him from a rich uncle, and then he died. We say Yirshu Echavimo. We say all the brothers get to share in that. I don't get it. If they claim that he's not the brother, why should they share in the Yerusha of this brother that they claim is not their brother? They don't say he's not our brother. We say we're not sure. We don't know. So therefore, they don't get a chelek. They don't give him a chelek because he doesn't have a proof about what he is. But he can claim, but the other brothers can come with the claim of the other brothers. Say, listen, you say he's our brother, so we want a share in it, in what he inherited. So based on this, Amar Rav Zoysa Meres, that I go to Abe and I say, Manali biyadcha, you owe me $100. And Abe says, V'lo ani odea. He doesn't deny it, but he says, I'm not sure, I don't know. I'm not sure you're correct. That's a taina of Vadai and Shema, basically. I claim you owe me, and Abe says, I don't know. So Potter. So that would be Potter, because it's coming out that the Achim who say they don't know, yet they're sharing. So Abaya Omer, really, if Abe says, I don't know, against somebody who says to him, you owe me $100, he has to pay. Because Bori V'Shema, Bori Odif. A claim of Bori is better. So why doesn't it work here by the brothers? Shiny Hacha, that the brothers, Misafik, don't have to give a chelik of their Yerusha. It's like because the brother who recognizes the Ach as his brother is Kamana La'acher B'Yad Chadami. It's like saying that somebody else owes you $100. Well, if it's not the Baal, right? The Baal Dover is not coming to be Toiveya. It's then that's enough to say Eini Yodea. If the Ach himself had come, so it wouldn't be enough. But Eini Yodea is enough to push away the taina in that case. Then if mace,
Why don't you say Mois Mechaver Avaraya?
in which case?
Where he's a suffix, but the other guy says Vadai, but he has to pull it
Oh,
out.
I
from him.
come to you, Abe, I say, you owe me $100.
I said, maybe
And
I
you
do.
say,
Maybe
I don't know.
Right. Could be.
Okay, so
But
you
prove
want
it.
to
But
say,
prove it.
you want to say, why does a bias say chayiv? No, because my taina is vadai. If you say, no, I know for sure I don't owe you, then you don't have to pay. But you're not saying, you say, I might owe you. It's maybe, I don't know. So when you say I don't know, that's it's sad to say that you might owe him. That's why you're chayiv in that case. If you deny completely, you're not chayiv to pay unless I bring proof that you owe it to me. So mace, if that ach who was the suffix, because one brother claimed he was the ach, but the other brothers don't know, and he died, yachzru nechasim. Remember, the only the one brother who claims he was his ach shares his Yerusha with him. So if that guy dies, only that one brother gets the assets back from the guy who had inherited it. The boy Rava. What about shvach sheshopchu nechasim? Meilehet ba'u. Right, brother A who gave over some of his Yerusha to the claimed brother, and then these assets became more valuable on their own. Who gets that? Bishracha megillah tefayim, fruit that have reached shoulder length, which are completely ripe. The only thing you have to do is pluck them. Lo tebailecha. There's no shaila. It's like assets that came to him from a rich uncle, where we say the other brothers share in that. It's not considered part of the land that was given him. Very early fruit, which is still sort of part of the karka, like a palm tree that got fatter, or arva aska shirtan, or the land became more fertile. Mai. So the answer is teku. So we leave the assets where they are because misafik, we don't know how to divide it. Mishnah. Misha Mace, there was a Shchivmara, and he had said something about giving assets away. But he also wrote a start. We find a Daidiki. Daidiki is a start sava, is of a Shchivmara. It's a document which documents that the Shchivmara wants to give this and this and this to this and this person. And this document is Kshura al Yerecho, is tied to his thigh. So we know for sure he wrote it. Harezu ein klum. It's not a proof. Doesn't help. And it could be that after he wrote the star, maybe he changed his mind. Because remember, the star wasn't given to anyone, it was found on his body. But in his lifetime, while he's still alive, Zicha Bolacher, he said, I want to give this star to Chaim Yankel on behalf of whoever he wants to be giving the gift to. So that works. Whether that person he's giving the gift to, Beimin Ayosh and Beimin Ayoshim Dwarf Kayomi. It's like a Matashchivmara, which he's allowed to do. And he can be, if he's Zoicha the star to somebody else in his lifetime, that works. Now, Ton Rabbanan Ezu, he died the key. How does it work, a daidiki that you can collect with it after a person's death? This should stand and be after my death, and this is my will. So that's called a daidiki. Ezuhi matana. What's a star matana? This thing has been given from this and this day until after death. So, Ella, it's got to say Me'ayolach Misa Hudavish Matana, but if it says Me'achshav Avya Matana, if it just said Me'achshav, that's not good enough. Amr Abaya Achi Kamar. Ezewi Manas Bori. See, normally only a matan of a shchiv mara has very strong koach, but a matana given by a bori doesn't work like a shchiv mara unless it's documented in a star. So ezeu matnas borshim k'matana shchiv mara. Shelo koni elalachar misa. That the gift is only basically given until after the guy's death. If a healthy guy wrote something and says, I want to give it to you from now, but and after death, what it means is it's a star that is given after the person's death, but it only said me'ashav, he would get, the baton is given from that moment, not just from after death. Yosef Rabbi Baravuna Barzandra Deveira. Rava was sitting in the patio of the yeshiva of Rav. Yosef Komer Mishmeid Rav Yochanan. Shchiv Marashamar Kisvu Utnu Mana Leploini. A guy in his deathbed said, write and give $1,000 to Chaim Yankel, Umes. So Ein Koisvin V'Noisvin. We don't follow that. Why? Shemaloi Gomer Lak Noisoi. Ela Bishtar. Maybe he didn't want to give the maton unless a star was given while he was alive. Since the star wasn't written while he was alive, you can't write it now after his death, because ein star la'achar misa. So if they write it while he's still alive, that would work. But if they didn't write it, you don't do it. Maybe he changed his mind. Amr Rabbi Lazar. Is daruba? The halacha is like this. But Rav Shizbi says the story is not correct. It's Rabbi Lazar sha'amra. It was Rabbi Lazar who said the halacha. The Armla Rav Yochanan, it was Rav Yochanan who said to his Talmidim, is daruba. Be careful with this halacha, which means it's like him. Armla Rabbi Yitzchak. Chavosei Rav Shizbi mistafa. The version of Rav Shizbi makes more logical sense. We understand good that it's Rabbi Lazar who said it. That's why Itzrich Rav Yochanan la Saduri alav al Rabbi Lazar. Rav Yochanan had to give testimony on Rabbi Lazar to strengthen his words that this is the halacha. Eli amit Rav Yochanan amra. But if it was Rav Yochanan who originally said the halacha, Itzrich Rabbi Lazar la Saduri alei. Rabbi Lazar is Namoira after Rabbi Yochanan. He would have to give testimony to give strength to Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan was the Rabbi of Rabbi Lazar. So that it only makes sense that it came in the words of the way Rav Shizbi taught it. But Toshma. Bring another raya. Rabbi Lazar Amra, and it was Rabbi Lazar who said that halacha. Because Sholach Ravi Mishmeid Rav Avo. Havu Yodim Shesholach Rabbi Lazar Lagoyla. Yishum Rabbeinu, you should know that Rabbi Lazar sent to the diaspora in the name of his Rebbe, Rav, Shchiv Marash Omar, Kisfu Udnu Mana Leploini. The guy in his deathbed who said, write and give $1,000 to Chaim Yankel, but died before they did any of that. Ein Koisev V'Noistin. You don't write it and don't give it. Shamaloi Gomer Lak Noiseh Ela Bishtar. Maybe the whole Kenyan, he wanted it with a star, not with his Amira. Remember, Shchiv Mara can give it without a star, and it works. The fact that he said star and it wasn't done, ain't star lachar misa. And Rav Yochanan Tibodeg. And by saying Tibodeg, you have to check what exactly was the nusach of the person who gave the command. And the Gemara, my Tibodeg, what do you mean Tibodeg? Ki also Rav Dimi, when Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, Omar, he said two halachas. Daidiki mevatelas daidiki. A start tzava of a later date is mevatel a prior start tzava. And he said another halacha. Shchiv Mara Shamar Kisvu Utnu Mana Leploini Umes. A Shchiv Mara who said write and give, but then he died. So we say royim. We try to see what his kavana is. Im kimiyapes koichoi. we know that a shchif mara, when he says, I want to give something to somebody, it works without writing. If the kavanah of his statement was, write it because I want to strengthen my gift. And really, the giving had nothing to do with the ksiva. That not only should you give it, I'm saying it, but write it down to strengthen the koyach of my gifting as a shchif mara. Then koisfin, even after his death. The imlav, if we evaluate his nusach and his state of mind, that his kavana was dafka through ksiva, then ain't koisfin, because you can't write a star for a dead person. Masr for Bava Ramam. What about a bori? A healthy man, Sha'amar Kisfu Utnuman Leploini. He said, write and give $100 to Chaim uncle Umeis, Ein Koisrin V'Noisrin. Which the Gemara wants to be medayik from that. Hashchiv Mara Koisrin V'Noisrin. By starting off by saying bori, it doesn't work. The Gemara wants to be medayik that but maybe by Hashchiv Mara it does work. So Ava Moisif, he asked the kasha, but Ava Mephoric law, he answered it. That the case of giving it by Shchibur has been miyapes koichoi, is after we see what his kavanah was and we investigate his words, we find that his words were to strengthen the amira that he said about giving it. It's not lav dafka that he wanted it only through ksiva. And heichi domi miyapes koichoi. How do we evaluate whether his words are being for miyapes koichoi or not? Okay. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, Shabbos starts 4:30, right? So let's learn at 3:30. Okay?
Very good.
Does that work?
Yeah.
You can't learn early in the morning, Ernie. It's better. No.
I could learn at 8 o'clock. I could learn at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it would be like 8:10 because I get home from shul.
Yeah.
Would you rather learn it? Does it work better at 8:10 or works better in the afternoon?
For me, the afternoon's better.
Okay.
Let's do the afternoon,
Yeah.
3:30. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, most of us will be home. I come home at noon, so it's easier for me in the afternoon.
Okay, 3:30 then.
And then Shabbos, let's just plan.
We'll figure out tomorrow.
Shabbos, I think it's going to be too early to learn in shul.
Yeah.
So we should do it like either 6 o'clock or 6:30, because the Nachshir is 8 o'clock. So you want to do it at 7 or 6:30 or 6? What works better?
Let's do it at 7.
At 7, yeah, it's not going to be.
Okay, we'll do it at 7. 7 the daf.
And then
and then-
8.
Okay.
Very good. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Every month,
So-
tonight.